Page 1. Cuckoo, Cheating by Nature, by Nick Davies, 2015. The familiar call of the common cuckoo, cuck-oo, has been a harbinger of spring ever since our ancestors walked out of Africa many thousands of years ago. However, for naturalist and scientist Nick Davies, the call is an invitation to solve an enduring puzzle. How does the cuckoo get away with laying its eggs in the nests of other birds and tricking them into raising young cuckoos rather than their own offspring? Early observers who noticed a little warbler feeding a monstrously large cuckoo chick concluded the cuckoo's lack of parental care was the result of faulty design by the creator, and that the hosts chose to help the poor cuckoo. These quaint views of bad design and benevolence were banished after Charles Darwin proposed that the cuckoo tricks the hosts in an evolutionary battle, where hosts evolve better defenses against cuckoos and cuckoos, in turn, evolved better trickery to outwit the hosts. For the last 3 decades, Davies has employed observation and field experiments to unravel the details of this evolutionary arms race between cuckoos and their hosts. Like a detective, Davies and his colleagues studied adult cuckoo behavior, cuckoo egg markings, and cuckoo chick begging calls to discover exactly how cuckoos trick their hosts. For birding and evolution aficionados, Cuckoo is a lyrical and scientifically satisfying exploration of one of nature's most astonishing and beautiful adaptations. 0.1 Preface. Cuckoo. Cuckoo. As common cuckoos arrive back in Britain from their African winter quarters, the male's far-carrying call is a welcome harbinger of spring. For centuries, this has been a sign that the cold, dark days of winter are coming to an end, raising our spirits in anticipation of the warmth of the sun returning and a season of new growth. The oldest song in English, which dates from around AD 1250, is the cuckoo song. Sumer is ecumenin, lud sing cuckoo, growethst, and bloithmd, and springeth the woad new, sing cuckoo. For the oldest reference to the cuckoo in European literature, we have to go back over 2,500 years, to ancient Greece in c. 700 BC, when Hesiod recommended that the best time for ploughing is as the cranes are arriving for winter, mid-November, but otherwise it's better to wait for signs of spring, when the first cuckoos are calling, March. The name common cuckoo is apt. The breeding range of the species extends across 2/5 of the Earth's land surface, including not only the whole of Europe, except for Iceland, but stretching east through Asia, across Siberia to Japan, and south to the Himalayas, China and Southeast Asia. Cuckoos that breed in the west of this range winter south of the Sahara, in Africa, while those breeding in the east winter in southern Asia. Every spring, then, we can imagine waves of cuckoos passing north, right across the temperate regions of the Old World. In many languages, it's the call that gives the bird its name, so the waves are of cuckoos announcing their own arrival. Across Europe, the first calling waves reach the Mediterranean in March, a cuckoo in Spain and Portugal, a cucciolo in Italy, a tilde superscript ocos in Greece. They continue, up through Central Europe, a cuckoo in France, a cuck-oo in Germany, a cuckoo in the Netherlands, a cuckoolka in Poland, a cuck-oo in Hungary. And they reach Northern Europe from mid-April to May, a cuckoo in the UK, aka tilde currencyk in Finland. The waves pass north through Asia, to, a gugk in Turkey, a gugu in Azerbaijan, a cuckoo in Kashmir, a pug in Nepal, a aku in Bhutan. Over this vast region of forest and open country, humans may have been listening out for cuckoos to announce the spring ever since our ancestors walked out of Africa and into Eurasia many thousands of years ago. In Britain, the call has always been greeted with special affection by the public, and until 1940 the Times newspaper published a first cuckoo letters every year. In the race to be first, this sometimes led to overeager claims. From Mr. Lydekker, FRS. The 6th of February 1913. While gardening this afternoon I heard a faint note which led me to say to my undergardener, who was working with me, was that the cuckoo. Almost immediately afterwards we both heard the full double note of a cuckoo, repeated either 2 or 3 times. There is not the slightest doubt that the song was that of a cuckoo. 6 days later, Mr. Lydekker wrote again, the 12th of February 1913. I regret to say that, in common with many other persons, I have been completely deceived in the matter of the supposed cuckoo of February 4th. The note was uttered by a bricklayer's labourer at work in the neighbourhood of the spot whence the note appeared. I have interviewed a man, who tells me that he is able to draw cuckoos from considerable distances by the exactness of his imitation of their notes, which he produces without the aid of any instrument. Nevertheless, not all early records are mistaken. One year another letter, also claiming a February record, provoked a skeptical reply from an eminent ornithologist. 2 days later, this expert received a parcel by post containing the body of a cuckoo. The regular seasonal rhythm of the cuckoo's activities is celebrated, too, in a charming poem for children written by Jane Taylor, 1783 A. 1824. It was set to music a century later by Benjamin Britten and is still sung with enthusiasm in schools across the country. Cuckoo, cuckoo. What do you do? In April, I open my bill. In May, I sing night and day. In June, I change my tune. In July, far, far I fly. In August, away I must. However, behind all these glad tidings there is a darker side to the life of this messenger. For many species of birds the spring invasion by cuckoos is neither charming nor a cause for celebration. The poet Ted Hughes senses a forewarning in the male's call. That first ribald whoop, as a stolen kiss sets the diary trembling. But it is the less familiar and haunting cry of the female cuckoo that proclaims the deed is done. After laying each egg, she utters a series of chuckles as if in triumph, for the common cuckoo is nature's most notorious cheat. It never raises its own offspring. Instead, it lays its eggs in the nests of other birds, just one egg in each host nest. Soon after the cuckoo chick hatches, it throws the host's eggs and young out of the nest. Every summer, millions of small birds will have their eggs and chicks tossed aside by young cuckoos. Once the cuckoo chick has claimed the nest to itself, the host parents are tricked into spending their summer raising a young cuckoo instead of their own offspring. For me, as a naturalist and scientist, the call of the cuckoo is not only a harbinger of spring. It's an invitation to solve an enduring puzzle. How does the cuckoo get away with such outrageous behavior? Page 8.